So within that first week of me being at the halfway house, I pretty much have gotten in the groove of things. I decide on that first weekend that I've been there that, hey, I'm going to take a pass. So you're allowed hygiene passes and also passes to go to church at this point and passes to go look for a job if it has been approved. I had not been approved yet to go and look for a job. So at this point, I seized the opportunity to go to church with my family. They're waiting for me outside. I go head to the front. I sign out. They tell me, hey, you're leaving at this time. You need to be back exactly 4 hours from this time. And so I leave out. My family pick me up, and we're off in a wind. Well, Houston has bad traffic, so I'm not planning on being in church longer than 2 hours. So we leave. We head over to the church, and we sit there, we're talking. Everybody's just so happy that I'm out. I'm happy because I finally feel like I'm free. Hey, I've just been accompanied down the freeway from the halfway house with my family. So I feel like, hey, I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And so we go to church and everything goes fine. I come back to the halfway house and it's the longest line that you could ever imagine of everybody trying to check back into this halfway house at 3 p.m. And so, of course, at the halfway house, there still counts. They do count at the halfway house just like they do in federal prison. So I'm waiting in this line. My nerves is getting so bad because I don't want to be late. They know I'm in here. Everybody's freaking out saying, hey, I got to be checked back in at this time. I got to be checked in at that time, depending on what time you left out. And so eventually I make it in, checked out maybe 2 minutes before time. Proceed on going back to my dorm. Everybody's asking me at this point, did I enjoy myself with my family and what church did I go to and everything like that. And so I'm basically giving them the details and whatnot and just telling them that, I felt so good about that. And they were like, well, you need to go ahead on and start getting your resume submitted and stuff so that you can get your pass to start looking for a job. In my mind, I didn't want to be at the halfway house living there and working. So I was like, well, I'm not going to look for a job right now. I'm going to wait until I can go home on home confinement. Eventually, I remember I'm sleeping at night. And at night, it's people in the halfway house that come in from work details, or well, not details, come in from their job assignments. So you don't have a set time that you have to be at work or not. You just have to let them know that, hey, this is my hours that I'm working this week, and this is the time that I'm going to leave out, and this is the time that I'm going to come back. And I watched people go through this process, and I didn't like it at all because they were always complaining about either leaving or trying to get out at a certain time or getting back in at a certain time. So it's one night in particular I'm sleeping. Half the dorm is almost sleeping, and if they're not sleeping, they got earphones on, listening to music or watching movies on their phone. And so I hear screaming and yelling and banging from the outside of the halfway house. And so every night it was real loud because we were close to a major highway. And it was a lot of homelessness down there. And so somebody's banging on the window right where I'm sleeping and saying, bitch, open the door. He's yelling, open the effing door right now. I'll kill you. And you can clearly tell that this is somebody who is under the influence. And I'm too scared to look out this little window to see exactly who's out there. Me and my bunkie both like, what the hell is going on? And so it's not long before we hear sirens and the police show up. And it's some kind of altercation taking place outside the halfway house. While we're in our room, that's the only thing that's dividing us from the situation that's occurring on the streets outside at this point. And so I'm on the phone telling my family, do y'all hear it? Oh my goodness, what is happening around this place? It's clearly not safe here. And so my family was like, well, it's the doors locked and stuff. And I was like, I hope so. Well, at this halfway house, I immediately noticed that there was a lot of crazy things going on that most likely should have never been going on and was not supposed to be going on. So in my dorm with the women that I'm living with at this time, there's one lady who's actually from the Eastern District of Texas. And it's several other people in this dorm. Sadly, these girls are part of a prostitution ring. And I'm laying in bed with my music on one night and I'm just listening to them talk while I'm listening to music. But I lower the volume to hear the conversation. So they're actually leaving out, going to the clubs in the middle of the night when they're saying that they're going to work or whatever. They're going downtown Houston and they're partying. And I'm hearing that the guys are doing the same thing because you can pay the guards while you're here. And one of them will let you out the door where the camera is not at and you're able to party. So, of course, I'm like, oh, my goodness, I definitely won't be getting involved with in any conversations with any of these ladies here. There's one that has a Cash App at this time, and once the guys are coming in, I keep seeing different guys coming. They're like literally not supposed to be in a dorm with us, but they're coming through this dorm at night looking for her. And so it's because she's the woman that's known around there for sleeping with all the guys. And so the guys have turned on all their friends, all the newcomers, everybody onto this girl. And she's literally in here one night while they're telling her she needs to stop doing this. She's literally on her bed saying, this is the only way I can make my money. And I could not believe that she was saying that. Like, you come home from prison and you sell yourself out while you're in a halfway house. And so I was in utter disbelief at this point. And so I was making sure I keep an eye out on all these bad characters around me. So one night there's a party that happens inside of the dorm that I'm in, but it carries over into the restroom. And when it carries over into the restroom, it's 3 or 4 girls who done got drunk and on ecstasy pills, having an orgy in there with each other. Nobody's allowed. Somebody's the lookout person. Don't look. Don't go to the restroom. You're not allowed to use it because they're going to be in here doing their thing. And so I'm petrified.